Traders, I look forward to sharing my top setups for the upcoming week with all of you, including my entry and exit targets for potential trades. And also please remember that my adjustments I've made over the previous several weeks and even months at this point remain firmly in effect, and especially considering this week's upcoming April 2nd catalyst. If you need a reminder about what those adjustments entail, just refer back to some of the previous watch lists, even last week's. Now, starting off with a continuation low in Bitcoin. First trade opportunity I'll discuss. Now, with the market rejecting its 200-day, confirming a lower high in a developing downtrend, and seeing some extreme continuation on Friday, Bitcoin all but confirmed its bearish consolidation breakdown as well on Friday. And on Friday presented a fantastic opportunity, a reactive short opportunity, displaying, after displaying some notable relative weakness early on in the morning. So what is the idea and what am I looking for in Bitcoin? So ahead of the catalyst on April 2nd, the tariff catalyst, in the event that we do experience some continuation early on, ahead of the event, early on in the week, I do like Bitcoin, specifically IBIT here, to express that trade potential for continuation lower. So for me, what's going to be very important is to really identify either inline or relative weakness in Bitcoin. If internals remain weak and favorable for such a thesis, I'd look for lower high entries to get short versus Friday's high. So this is assuming on Monday we get this to play out. So Monday's high and the 20-day is really going to act as the line in the sand for this trade idea. Alternatively, I'd also be open to momentum shorts intraday if we were to hold below Friday's low. So for me, I'm really targeting a move down into a potential band of support, which I really see and identify as 46 within 46. Extreme weakness might put us a bit closer in continuation lower ahead of the event, into the event, close to the 200-day. And in that event, that I get a lower high, relative weakness, and a steady downtrend, consecutive lower highs under intraday VWAP, then I would look to piece out into 46, and I'd look to leave a piece on potentially overnight, coming into that catalyst with 5-minute lower high trails on the rest. All right, next up, switching gears to a small cap MLGO. Now, MLGO isn't, and certainly hasn't been, a name, and going forward, it won't be a name to battle on the front side if bearish, really biased. The rigged action throughout the week tells the story, from bearish price action following PRs and clear outs, only to trap and reclaim and make new highs intraday. So could it have another push above last week's high, above 20, above 21? Absolutely. Could it squeeze a lot further than I think and many others think? Absolutely. But given its history and fundamentals, overall, I'm pretty bearish, and I'm looking for potential liquidation opportunity here. But the key for me is waiting for confirmation versus fighting that bias, and fighting the trend and fighting the tape. So for me, this is a pure price action and tape reactive trade, really because I'm looking for a significant shift in momentum and character on the tape. For example, I need to see sustained refresh selling, I need to see hidden selling, I need to see a hold below significant support of 15 from last week, below Friday's low as well. I need to see us hold below the day's low, anything that would really represent a shift in character and something we haven't seen really on the surge so far and throughout last week. So until then, I'll be hands off and I'll just be monitoring the price action for a potential A to A plus trade, depending on how it sets up intraday. Then a couple of names, depending on the overall market's direction, ahead of the so-called Liberation Day on April 2nd. So let's start off with Rocket Lab, RKLB. So very similar setup and trade opportunity as my shorts in AVGO last week. Simply put, what am I looking here for? I'm looking for some relative weakness intraday to the overall market. And I'm looking for a hold below Friday's low and last week's low below 18. If we can remain weak and hold weak, displaying relative weakness, trading a nice uptick in RVOL, and confirming a short-term uptrend in this bearish consolidation. And then I'd look to be getting short against the high of day or versus a hold green. While it is set up typically for a potential multi-day swing down towards 200-day, for example, given the market catalyst on April 2nd, depending when this sets up, I would be cautious in holding through that. And really, I'd be looking rather for intraday hold, targeting a move down towards 16, down towards these recent lows as a potential target to exit the trade. So that is the plan in Rocket Lab. Next up, Tesla, which has been a fantastic trading vehicle throughout the previous several weeks. And after a couple of weeks with 250 serving as major resistance, we finally broke above that and had a couple of days of impressive follow through last week. And that idea from last week's watchlist really played out quite well. And we displayed significant relative weakness to the overall market as well. So it's just been a great trading vehicle in that regard as well, trading around key levels. Now, if the market defies, and it's an if it defies the overall sort of sentiment at the moment that we're seeing and trend early in the week or following April 2nd, I'd really like for a higher low to be confirmed in Tesla, continue relative strength in Tesla around this key level. Were we to dip into 250, dip underneath, reclaim 250, and we get that confirmation of a higher low and we see the market firm up and brush aside the current sentiment, it would be a go-to candidate for relative strength and momentum intraday action to the upside. If Tesla does pull into the zone of previous resistance and confirm newfound support into a now somewhat flattening 20-day as well, that would be interesting to me and get me to most likely go long. And if Tesla dips below and immediately reclaims 250 and consolidates above an intraday VWAP, it might also get me to position long. Of course, it depends on what I'm seeing relative to the overall market as well. On April 2nd as well, it's important to note Tesla is expected to announce their Q1 delivery figures. Obviously, it's very widely known and expected for them to miss, with everything that has gone on, but how much of that might already be priced in. That's for you to decide. But my plan above remains trading around key levels and reacting to price action, not looking to fight the trend. So with that being said, I'm also open-minded to us displaying some relative weakness and holding below 250 intraday, with that serving as major resistance and firming up yet again, and then looking for momentum reactive short trades intraday. And then lastly, just to add some general thoughts, on the overall market, if the market were to sell off ahead of and into the Liberation Day catalyst following on from Friday's action, where we to see that to continue and really present a sell the news type of opportunity and sell the news event. But in this case, it would mean the opposite. It would mean going long versus anticipation into an event, a stock surging higher, and then sell the news. This is flip side, selling off into the event, expecting incredibly bad news and seeing weakening sentiment. Might that mark a bottom? If that scenario were to play out, how might I react? It's always a good idea to run through several different scenarios when you have an impending event and seeing significant price action as a result. For example, if that were to happen, I personally, my go-to would immediately be on volatility. I'd be looking at VIX, where would you see a surge higher into the mid to high 50s for a potential short. I would also be focusing on Qs, for example, showing some relative weakness on the second leg lower. And so that's just one scenario for the upcoming week among many others. But in a tape like this with increased uncertainty and volatility, it's very important to run through different scenarios. So that's one scenario and the instruments in which I'd look to immediately go to, which would take hesitation out of looking to react. So with that all being said, those are my focuses, my thoughts for the upcoming week. As always, day one plays at the moment really performing better than the rest. So as the week progresses, with new names, with fresh news popping up, a lot of my attention will likely be prioritized there. But coming into the week, these are some of the plans and setups that I'm prioritizing. As always, let me know what your top focuses are. Drop it in the comments, your plans, your thoughts. And as always, I really enjoy reading through them, even if those plans differ from mine. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful and successful trading week ahead. Cheers.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part, you don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.